I'm so glad that, you know, when I threw that dart at the map, I was a little worried when it hit Bulgaria, but you know, I'm definitely happy that it did. I didn't know when we bought the first parcel. Right on the other edge, it looks like you kind of go down and dip up, but it's a 30-foot ravine that goes down to a river. And that river flows through here in the springtime, then it goes back up to the upper fields and then up to the upper area where we've got some hardwoods. We're allowed to cut 20 acres or the equivalent of 20 acres in hectares every year as long as we replace it. So we can do forestry programs and things like that. So this is all Rakia plums. So this is the largest plum, so it's the largest as far as size goes. They're not great for eating, but they produce tons and tons of rakia. We don't make rakia ourselves, we just bag it up and then sell it in bulk to the processing plants for rakia. So this is a moneymaker for us, and a lot of the agricultural ideas that we have are also money makers with regards to being able to help support environmental programs and agricultural programs. We haven't started on the other side. That's the big one, because we have so many fields and we really want to start getting into the sunflower and lavender production. Nobody on this side of the mountains down through Aprilti has really started on that. It really starts towards Sevlievo and back. And that's really just because of lack of large-scale land, which we now have. So that's just something to think about as well. So, questions or?
For people who don't know what rakia is, can you say what?
Moonshine, Bulgarian moonshine paint thinner. And it's just homemade, and you know, it's typically, you can make it kind of from any of the fruits that grow here, but plum is considered sort of the one that everybody utilizes the most. There is pear, rakia, and apple and stuff like that, but it's just not considered, you know, as high quality. Again, we have 7 different types of plums. They are all uniquely different. It's really interesting. The small plums that will be ripening in early July are super sweet. We make plum jams, jellies, stuff like that. Everything we do gives back to the local community, whether it's you know, Roma showing up and just adopting them, or the locals who live up in the village who want to earn some extra cash. So harvest season is crazy. It's 24 hours a day for 3 weeks straight. Wow. So they come down and they tent and they camp and they light up the trees and they shake the trees, and they'll go literally all day, all night just harvesting. Even just a field like this can take 3 weeks to harvest fully. They get paid by how much they pick. So whatever we sell it for, yeah. So we sell it to the big plants, and then whatever that price is for that year goes back to them. So we got about $7,000 US out of this. I mean, it's not a huge amount, but it definitely, in certain circles, it can make a huge difference, a huge impact. $7,000 can definitely change a life, depending on, you know, where you are. We employ the people, so they got paid locally, and then we made about $7,000 in profit, and then we donated that away. So some of the plants that we don't like, the stinging nettles. So that's the worst thing here. They don't have like poison ivies and poison oaks and stuff like that, like in the U.S. They have stinging nettles, and they stink. This is all stinging nettles. Yep. So all of this is just starting to come up. You get into stinging nettles, the students sometimes, it's not fun. It's a couple hours of pain.
So Bulgaria by now is a place that's really close to your heart.
Yeah, it's definitely the place where I feel most compelled to, you know, help and make a difference, especially really well, I don't want to negate some of the other things, but I mean, we love youth, education, but really the environment and trying to preserve what's here. One of the worst things that happened to this area obviously was, you know, communist domination over the course of 40 years. But what that did do is it preserved a lot of the open spaces and environmental issues that a lot of other countries faced, because it really remained an agricultural society in, you know, outside of the big cities. So when you go up into the hillsides, everything's still pristine. Everything's still there. It hasn't been, again, in Europe, there's only 2 what's considered old growth forests. One's in Germany, the Black Forest, and one's here in Bulgaria. And so you've got this endemic species, this flora and fauna that just are pristine and sort of need to be protected, especially as, areas in the rest of the world sort of, become decimated. You do have these great spaces that are really worth protecting. And so that's really important to us. So all along here are the black raspberries, the native black raspberries. They're so good. We come in the summer programs, we'll come out, staff will come out early in the morning and pick them, and then we make black raspberry pancakes for everybody. And again, it's just utilizing everything that's here. What's gonna take us about 15-minute walk will take you about an hour in the summertime, because you're stopping at every tree and just eating. So you see the yellow on it? Yeah, super pretty. It's one of the most common butterflies. So when we finish, so this is obviously where the health clinic's gonna go. The goal is to have it fully handicap accessible. So the vehicles will be able to just pull literally right up here. It's gonna be a ramp that goes right down straight into the building, and then a hallway that juts off to the different first level fully handicap accessible. Second level will be dormitories with more rooms. And so we're really excited to get this building up and going. The honey hives, this is some of our hives. We've got hives here, we've got hives down at the lake property that you didn't get a chance to see. So we own a huge lake, which is exciting. But one of the things that's great, we were talking about bees, is, a lot of people don't realize how much water they need. So bees have to drink 3 times their own little weight every day of just water. So they love the pool. They don't bother anybody, but it's a nice source for them for water. They just bring it back to the hives and they do what bees do. And it's again, a wonderful opportunity to be able to give back to the environment. It's a program that's near and dear to our heart for many reasons. Anything revolving around the environment is really important, because what we've done is take a little piece, and we now have it preserved, and we can actually showcase how you can bring other areas back. Who's a good? Who's my boo?